think I'd miss this place. Had that much right.
Say, you're the one we have to thank for fighting off the ogres, right? Never thought I'd see one of the God-touched. I would have helped fight them monsters off, you know, if I didn't think I'd just get in the way. And with you there to handle things, everything turned out well enough, didn't it? Don't see why Havrick's still sour at me. Oh, Havrick's the innkeeper over at the Grave's Rest. I may have been hiding in the inn when the fighting started. The raid didn't improve his disposition any. Did you know he has a whole case of Fenlin liquor in there? I keep offering to buy it off him, but he says he's saving it up for when the battery's open again. As if we're gonna last that long. Anyhow, he said he'd thrash me up and down the mountain if I didn't leave him be. They say a single drop changes your life. You'll never want to have a drink of anything else. Probably that's all rubbish, but it's supposed to be very good. It's delusional is what it is. Point of fact, what with you dealing with ogres and everything, maybe you'd, be willing to help me out. Havrick keeps all the good stock in the inn cellar. Out of sight, you see. I mean, it's bound to be under lock and key, but I'm sure he wouldn't miss a single bottle. Not with everything that's going on. Well, Havrick can be a little intimidating when it comes to his beverages. But otherwise, not much, I guess. I'll pay you for it. I swear it. We'll split my wages. And the bottle, too, if you like. I just want to be able to say these lips have tasted the best the Ishamael Plains have to offer. Oh, sure. What can I do for you? Not so brave now, are you?
You got the look of someone with his teeth around a secret.
I wouldn't call it a secret. It's more like a mysterious thing he doesn't like to talk about.
What? Did I spill something on myself? You did right in parlaying with Baragon. Don't know that anyone else here is going to see it that way, but I thought you should know. About the only thing folk here haven't tried. Killing one more matron won't change things for long.
But it could be fun.
Besides, her clan's flames that whisper. The one that attacked us was Wolf with many mouths. I'd know him anywhere.
They're cut from the same cloth, Aldrich. Only a matter of time before Baragon marches through that gap in our walls.
Something else you need? Mother's convinced that a magic forge will turn this frozen crack into a hub of civilization.
She can't accept this place is dying. Me, I'd just as soon move on. It's a fool's hope. A fantasy that's kept these parts inhabited longer than they should be. They say the Pargrunan dwarves developed Durgan steel, became powerful, rich, and then one day, they locked their doors and died. Nothing like a mystery to stir folk up. Most of Stalwart is convinced that some Pargrin secret'll save us all. But that don't stop them from whispering a prayer when they pass the old fortress. I'm a carpenter, Mother's a builder, so it felt like a good fit at the time. Not that we've got a lot of new folk to build houses and furnishings for. These days, I spend most of my time fixing up the stockade.
I take it you've met Galvino. Who? Sorry, I don't recall the name. Last expedition I met disappeared weeks ago. Didn't give any names, but they definitely haven't come back this way. Don't mean the Sfeara weren't part of an expedition, though. We get groups passing by sometimes looking to try their luck. What's on your mind?
How much did the old snake pay you, Sina Hiod?
Maestro Galvino and I came to an agreement. It was for the good of Stalwart. I thought...
You thought you'd let a killer walk among us?
Let's go.
Enough. What's on your mind? You've been busy since we last spoke. I want to thank you for what you've been doing for Stalwart.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? You all right? I won't serve you if you're already drunk, you know. Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Something I can do for you? Halfrick's got me straightening the rooms, but I'll help you if I can.
Pay attention. Sooner we get this done, sooner we can go.
We're hurrying, Captain Gregor. Honest.
Sir? Excuse me, sir. You all right?
Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you came by. I hoped I'd have the chance to thank you properly. They told me what happened. God's bless you, sir. I owe you my life. I know it was foolish of me to run in there. But this ring is all that I have of my family. Sentiment, mostly. When he first settled here, my grandfather had a ring fashioned from the first batch of ore he excavated. It was supposed to commemorate his fresh start. He passed it on to his daughter, and my mother gave it to me in turn. Oh, I'm managing. Fenway's letting me stay with her until I'm back on my feet. Everyone's been lovely, really. It was hard seeing what's left of the house. But Rayvald says he's going to see a hut raised for me soon as they get the logs. Funny, Rayvald was just in here asking after the same thing. Guess that stuff really is popular. Averick has some, but he says the Fenland stuff's not for sale. And he's rigged up the cellar like a battlefield trying to keep people out. Sorry. If anyone deserves a drink, it's you, sir. But I don't think I could convince him. Oh, you don't know Haverick. He's liable to count them every night. Listen, Haverick showed me how one of the traps worked, so I wouldn't get too close if I had to pop down for supplies. I'm pretty sure I can disable it. Just give me a little time, and please don't get caught. I don't know how I'd explain all this.
You look like you've been in the wilds. You see my wagon out there? You look like you've been in the wilds. Shh! Keep it down, will you? Look, you seem forthright, but I couldn't just announce my business, could I? Even you've got to understand that. I'm just trying to get out of town before some ogre or fishman or starving snow-addled hunter sticks a blade in my gut. More important, I gotta make good on my deal with the supplier. Ain't someone I'm eager to disappoint. Well, sure. You've proven yourself capable. Take Lenum and Francesca's shares. I'll be sure to tell the boss about you. Thanks again. With a little luck, I'll trade these blizzards in for a sea breeze soon enough.
Haverick's very particular about his wines.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Didn't think there was anything more than lice and hoarfrost to these folk, but you had a look back there. What do you find when you're rooting around like that? Yeah? And I'll bet you could do the same to anyone in this village. Easy as looking at 'em. Mayhap I'm looking for someone. Woodcutter by the name of Harmka. It sure does. He was one of them. The mob that destroyed Cold Morn. I tracked him to Stalwart years ago, but got caught before I could finish my business. We all gotta have something that gets us out of bed in the morning. This man, Harmka, I saw him outside my house the night it burned, staring into the flames the way I seen you stare into souls. I knew it were a fool's errand trying to hunt down every man and woman that carried a torch into Cold Morn, but if I knew I got the one responsible for my kin and my hearth, I might could rest easy. I took a good long look that night. Ours was a little place with a yellow door right on the edge of town. He was there. Besides, I asked around when I first got to Stalwart. Townsfolk said that all the woodcutters in town took part in the purge. Point of pride for them. I told you he was part of the mob. I spotted him watching my house when it burned. But when we find him, I want to know if he's the one responsible for my home, my parents, and my brothers and sister. I never thought I'd have the chance to know for sure, but you could look into his soul and find out. You being a watcher and all. Mighty fine of you. Mighty fine indeed. Don't know where he dallies these days, but someone in Stalwart could tell us. People from little villages, they always know. Effigy's eyes, that man loved to talk. If it's sane and logical reasoning you're wanting, you're going to be disappointed. Ain't no sense in any of it. Mayhap you've heard of Cold Morn. Was a quiet, forgettable patch of the woods. Till a pack of rabid clodhoppers set it afire.
That was the start of the purges. Dear Woodens killing their own.
A farmer on the other side of the mountains woke up one day with his head all aflame and took it for the gibbering speech of his god. And so did a few thousand of his countrymen. So when he tired of Vorlus fields and marched west, a horde of armed hicks followed. Bunch of fool nonsense is what I'm talking about. But others have called it the same. If you know that much, then you've heard of Cold Morn. Ours was the village that let a few thousand of Widewind's troops pass through.
You were from Cold Morn? When I heard what happened out there after the war, I couldn't believe my ears.
Fine line between couldn't and wouldn't. They had us clean beaten numbers. Even bumpkins like us figured that. Just look at Mercy Vale. They fought back, and now there ain't one stone standing atop another in the whole village. Besides, we asked the Duke for help. Told him Widewind's troops was coming through the mountains. Seems he had better uses for his soldiers. So we let Widewind's soldiers pass. Left him for the Duke to wrangle on his own terms. Was after the Godhammer made a fine grit out of Widewind, when Deerwoodens were running on rage and looking for something to burn. They came at dark, hundreds of folk. Every one of them mourning someone lost in the war. Must have decided it was our duty to escort their dead back to the wheel. They didn't light their torches till they had us surrounded. Time we saw 'em, there was a ring of fire closing around us. I woke, ran to the window. Whole village were a maze of flames. Couldn't see nothing for the smoke. And the screams. Most ran for the streets, got caught by the mob. Others hid, let their houses burn down around them. Hunting down the men and women what took part. Thought that much was clear. Sure. You want me to tell you straight? I found the men and women what destroyed my village, and I burned their houses down around them. Sometimes they was alone, and sometimes they wasn't. It were a mob that destroyed our village, but it was just one man that burned my family's house. Kept hoping I'd get to him as I was working my way through the rest of those maggots. No matter now, I suppose. Only kind to have with someone like him. Or me. Every day. Just kept putting it off. It's not like either of us was going anywhere. He'd spread butter on bread and claim he made something. Never been accused of modesty, that man. He managed to stuff my soul into this heap of bronze, true enough. Maybe that makes him a genius. Also makes him a son of a bitch. Looked after his tools, cleaned the workshop, swung the sledgehammer. Oh, and snatched up travelers for his soul tinkering. All those other golems, where did you think they came from? But don't you worry. They were all bad folk. Just so you know, you got a real professional working for you. Around about 13 years. Too long, you ask me. No other way to feel about the man who flayed my living soul. Yeah, I've had enough of him too. Just 'cause I made of metal don't mean I got any special fondness for smiths and forges. Long as we get to Harmka, we can search whoever you please. Let me know if you need someone in a chinlock. Nothing specific. Everyone looks about the same when they got their fingers up their noses. Only the last group, one before you, there was something different about them. Couldn't put my finger on it, but they was dangerous. Almost felt the hair on the back of my neck. Ain't felt that way about anyone else walking through Galvino's door, that's for sure. No more'n what Galvino already told you. Murder, tracking, and the best materials for kindling. Those are more my area of expertise. There weren't much to say about it. By my reckoning, that means it was pretty good. Ma was a trapper, taught me to set snares and dress game. Dad was a tinker. I never had his patience, but it were fun to watch him work. My brothers and sister, they was good folk too. Part of me's glad they ain't here to see me now.
Something over there.
All right, then.
Margren's fire casts light in dark places.
Well? What are we waiting for?
We're not really going to do this, are we? Tell me we're not doing this.
I'll have to sneak down when the cook's not looking.
Please, tell me you found it. I've got a craving like you wouldn't believe. Wait, really? You did it! Oh, thank you! This is going to be great! Oh, and here's the money I promised. To the Lord of Cadnua. Oh, that's, gods, that's a bit strange. Here, have... What? No, it just tastes awful. Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick. Did you see that? See, I think my tongue is going, wait, I can't feel my face. What's happening? I think I bit my... But I can't feel a thing. This has to be Havrick's doing. He must have put something in the bottle. Please, you have to help me. Sweet gods, I hope so. Please, I'll give you the money I saved up. I'll give you more.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? So that little bastard finally got up the nerve to snatch it, did he? Well, serves him right. Maybe he'll think twice about stealing a man's vintage now that he's dribbling all over himself. You'd think I'd chance poisoning him with something I plucked off a bush? I made the stuff myself. It's not gonna wear off until I make an antidote. Yeah, I bet he's ballin'. Look, I dabble in chemicals, but it's never something I can't fix. He's only a few ingredients from a cure. You want to help him out, all you need is a river reed in the heart of an ice troll. You ought to find both by water. That creek out west, for instance. You heard me. Ice troll. Really, Rayfall's getting off easy. Those traps cost me a fortune.
You have to help me. Ugh. Oh, thank the gods.
First, your neighbors hound you because you say the wrong prayers at supper time.
If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Just their way of letting you know they care.
Then some cross-eyed lord gets you stringing up your neighbors.
A couple of them were ones that have been hounded.